Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Communication, and you are joining us for Game 2 of Battle for the Coast between the Ventura County Derby Darlings and the Sonoma County Roller Derby All-Stars. Yes, I'm still adjusting to the time change, even though I've been here since Thursday. And we are ready to get started. The first pack is lined up. If we have an opportunity via timeout, we'll go ahead and go through full rosters for you. That is a fatal. Channing Hayden, number 520, your lead jammer. Very much. And breaking from the pack, we've got Sonoma County's jammer number 50, Shira Badass. Channing Hayden gets to the pack, calls it off with 4 points, 0 for Sonoma County. We've got 4-0 here with 29 minutes left in the first half. It's number 1159, Cinderosa for the Vendals. She's up against number 0, Rowdy Bout. And Rowdy Bout out of the pack and is lead jammer for Sonoma County. Big hit by Riot on the inside, but Rowdy absorbs it, picks up 5 points. Lucille Balls headed to the penalty box, number 1729 for Sonoma County. She will be waved off because we have a full penalty box. We do 8 points for Sonoma County, 3 points for Cinderosa. Score now is 8-7. Sonoma on top by 1, but a very full penalty box. We've got a full penalty box, and number 50, Shira Badass, will be asked to report once one of those blockers leaves. You jinxed it, Tara.
That's what I do. That's what the announcers do. You say something and then the opposite happens.
Yes. You know, I am going to say that is number 00, TK, for Ventura as lead. She's skating against Malice and Chains, number 17. And well, you know, but if you change your mind, I'm still free, and you could take a chance on me. I got up at 5 a.m. I love roller derbies. Fatal, of course, one of the anchor jammers for the Vendals. Little hole being opened up for her, and she gives a hit out to Foxy. Knocks her out. She'll have to wait to avoid the track cut as Fatal picks up 5 points. Five to 3 in that jam of the Vendals. We've got another lead change, 13-11. Ventura on top with 26 minutes left in the first half. Channing Hayden returning to the line for Ventura. She is up against number 1337, Spacey Lords. You'll notice that Lourdes has some other government name on her jersey, but we are to call her by her proper derby name. Channing Hayden has this look of concentration on her face whenever she jams, and it like absolutely chills me down my spine. 4 points for Channing. Well, that's why the judges gave her a 4 for the twirl. It's number 1159, Cinderosa for the Vendals. And out in front with that lead jammer indication is Rowdy Bout It. So 4 more points for Sonoma County puts them at 20. We've got another lead change to 17 for the Vendals. 23 minutes and 58 seconds on the clock. Shira with the lead jammer status. Channing out, though, ready to score points. Vendals lined up in the back of the pack. Score now 22-17 with 23 minutes left in the game. Sonoma County still on top. We've got Foxy Trotter number 1935 for Sonoma. She is jamming against TK in the black and green. Both blockers fighting to push TK out of bounds, but she twirls around, picks it up and out, ready to score. Right now, Vendal's down 1 blocker. Antisocial D in the box standing right now. Once again, we're in a double elimination tournament, so you can still lose one and become a champion. That's she went to the penalty box for a track cut. Pack coming to a stop on the straightaway. 1 left to Alice out in front. She does pick up her 5 points. Mouse looking to juke on the inside. Didn't happen that time. Renegade Riot with the block, but it's going to be a clockwise block. She will head to the penalty box. And you know, sometimes those penalties can count. Renegade Riot with that clockwise block actually prohibited Malice from getting out and getting another scoring pass. Make it count, ladies. But no points garnered for her on that, unfortunately. But it was pretty. Looks like Diamond sent to the penalty box at the end of that jam. We will have a power jam for Channing Hayden. Hayden staring down the wall. TK pulling a path for her. 5 points for the Vendals. And it was indeed. The Vendals pack making a lot of noise. Not much communication from the ladies in white out there. Hayden pushing against one more person with the power jam ending. We are on 20 points right now for Channing Hayden. That double whammy in the penalty box is certainly not paying any favors to Sonoma County. Hayden up at the top of the pack with one to beat. And that, Tara, is a 30-point jam thus far. We've got a clockwise block being called on 1337. Spacey Lords, another 4 points. That was a 34-point jam for Channing Hayden, and we have another lead change. This is also, though, a well-needed break for Diamond. She managed to stay out on the track, so now she could go sit on the bench and regroup and come back stronger later. Now, Ventura coming into this game seeded third in the tournament. Sonoma County seeded 6th out of 6th in the tournament. Just so you know, our seedings for Battle for the Coast are not based on WFTDA rankings. They are based on records playing the other teams that are here, and then also some triangulation based on other California teams that they may have played in the past. Ventura fielding Cinderosa again, number 1159. Ventura keeping to kind of a 3+1 rotation. You'll see TK come in as a kind of a breather. She loves to block. And when I say loves, I say it with all the sarcasm intended. Foxy, though, finding her way out, a little quick step change, if you will. But Cinderosa picks up 4 points and calls off the jam, lengthening the Vendals' lead 59-43 with 14 minutes left in the first half. Just kind of ease into it like a Saturday morning. Channing Hayden on the line for the Vendals, and that's 1337, a little leet speak, Spacey Lords. I really think that unless it's a very substantial lead or it's very close to the end, running the clock, not necessarily what you would like to do. One blocker apiece, number 50, Shira Powers in the box for Sonoma, and TK in the box for the Vendals. Oh, sorry, I missed Antisocial D on her feet in the box, so her penalty will end here shortly. That's 11:59. Cinderosa as your lead jammer for the Vendals. She picked up a high block penalty, and Cinderosa threw on the inside. 5 points for the Vendals. Sonoma County right now, though, with only 2 blockers on the track. Oh, they've got their pivot trying to join them, but Fatal and looking to hold her back. Cinderosa finds her way on the outside, but Rowdy back in. It's only 10 power points for the Vendals. Rowdy ready to score and fast approaching the pack. Channing Hayden on the line against number 17, Malice in Chains. Interestingly enough, Malice in Chains does break a 3 lead jammer streak, but also she is the last jammer from Sonoma to have held lead. So Battle for the Coast has one of the most unique trophies in roller derby. The teams this weekend are playing for the Battle for the Coast oar, which is a custom painted oar with a new logo every year. Team timeout being called for the Sonoma All-Stars, certainly a time for them to regroup. They were in the game earlier, and so it's time to catch the game again, so you don't let it slide through your fingers like so much sand on Surfers Point. Yeah, right. Yeah, or scoop sand. I don't know. I might like to chase people around with the oar. Not hit them. Just threaten. Well, because sometimes threatening is better than small dogs. Small dogs threaten. Okay, we've gone on a tangent. Correct. We started in 2008. So Battle for the Coast has been through a lot of changes. This is the first year that we have a fully sanctioned event with full-length games on Saturday. Yes. Correct. Which is fine. I can take it. Foxy Trotter on the line for Sonoma County. She is skating against 00 TK. TK looking for a little block off of the jammer line, kind of telling Foxy where she wants her to go. TK with one to beat. She stays in, the lead jammer. It definitely is, but you know, the Vendals actually like to take the back an awful lot and build their wall from the rear. So perhaps it's a preference of direction of water falling. Hayden staring down the top of the pack. Malice looking to build a brace. She hits it, calls off the jam. 3 points for Hayden. Spacey Lords with a goose egg. 76-45. Well, yes, and the Vendals do play half of their home season here at the fairgrounds. Cinderosa picks up 4 and calls off the jam. Score now 80-45. I can be nerdy about how slick this floor is. My friend Conjob was talking about how he does it. He goes lower than his 95s, and he usually doesn't even wear 95s because they're too sticky for him. I know things about numbers. Who says announcers are bad with numbers? Not, oh, well, okay. I'm just so proud of myself that I understand wheel softness. Channing Hayden with the star for the Vendals. Sugar Free with a good hit to the inside, knocking a Full Metal. Jackie. Yes, out to the penalty box. Foxy Trotter, number 1935, on the line for Sonoma. Oh. Well, and you know, there's a lot that can be said for a minute of time. Just to, you know, see everybody's faces, not be in battle mode. Oh, it actually looks like Channing Hayden is actually kind of waving her hands down. I think they're having a little calm down moment. You'll. It definitely isn't. Izzy Sirius out on the track talking with his team. He's a coach, and they are bench coached by Lethal this weekend. That's number 115. That's 1159 Cinderosa on the line with the star for the Vendals, and 1935 Foxy Trotter. Again, that was just a team timeout. Because you can and you will. Foxy Trotter trying to do a quick change against TK and Antisocial D. And they bought time for Cinderosa 3, lead jammer. We've got 1337 Spacey Lords on the line for Sonoma, and she will be skating against Channing Hayden. Lords finding a way out on the outside. Hayden, though, already in the fray. Fighting against Full Metal Jackie at the top of the pack. And right at the end of the jam, Spacey Lords picks up a back block penalty. And Cinderosa finds it, lead jammer. Ventura making a dance line for Cinderosa and then jumping into action. And the power jam has ended. 5 power points for the Vendals in that last power jam. Spacey Lords engaged with the Ventura defense at the top of the pack, but Fatal Traction picking up a penalty. She'll go sit for 30 seconds. Ventura picks up another 5 points as Lords rounds the track to catch up with the pack, but calls off the jam. 10 points for Ventura in that last jam. You know, 48 points, not a lot. There are many cliches I could say here, but I'm sure that my friend up in Canada will remind me about them if he's listening. Sonoma breaking a 3-lead jam streak for Ventura, but Channing out and ready to score. A micro-pack situation out on the track, 2-on-2, gives Rowdy her 4 points, and she calls off the jam just as Channing gets ready to re-engage. I think we should point out, because everybody is jaunty on Sonoma County, that we are all wearing our teal for 57. So here at Battle for the Coast, we support lots of great things about Derby. And so the problem with that is that normally there's one person that wears a bandana on the team. And so as an announcer, I'll say, oh, that's the person that wears the bandana. And so I know who they are. Yeah, so this is a problem. So brief official timeout, probably to adjust the clock and look for penalties, but we're going to hear from Craig's Fist on that. Cinderosa, though, hot on her heels, about 50 feet back. But they do have enough time in the game to pick up 2 points. It would be a very long process. But, you know. Ventura building their wall up at the top of the pack. It looks like TK motioning for a brace. But great work by Full Metal Jackie, kind of coming in and breaking up that tripod at the top. We have an autoplay block being assessed to Sugar Free number 723 as Foxy Trotter gets another 5 points. And we are going to head into the halftime. 98-66 Ventura on top. These teams fighting it out to play number 2 seed V-Town later on today at 2 p.m. So, so headed into halftime, we've got Ventura ahead, the tournament following seed right now. What I am seeing out there is, what's interesting is the jammer rotation slowly slid for Ventura into a 2-jammer rotation towards the end. So it'll be interesting to me if we're going to lean on Cinderosa and Channing in the second half, if this may take the steam out of their sails, or if they've been, working hard to have the inertia and momentum to play. So anyway, we are going to take a break. You are watching Battle for the Coast coverage on WFTDA.tv. We're the only show in town this weekend. And once again, I'm Miss Communication, and we'll see you in a few minutes. Oh, now you can hear Tara Armoff.
That's right, everyone. Ms. Communication was not talking to a ghost or herself or the voices in her head. She was actually talking to me. Y'all just didn't know I was here.
Interesting thing to note, right before we hit this first jam of the second half, 98-66 with the Vendals playing Sonoma County. Channing Hayden with a 34-point jam in the first half. That is basically the difference in our score right now heading into the second. We'll talk about penalties a little later when we have a moment.
This is a power start in favor of Sonoma County with 66 points. They are definitely in need of that advantage. Channing Hayden coming out of the penalty box back on the track for Ventura. Both jammers in the mix. Rowdy Bout jamming for Sonoma. She is on her scoring pass.
Channing Hayden fighting up to the top of the pack. Vendals sending a TK to the penalty box. 4 points for Rowdy Bout.
Right about it, coming around for another scoring pass. Channing Hayden out on her initial pass. Oh, Rowdy Bout getting hit to the face. She goes down. She calls it off from the floor.
Rowdy Bout looking a little dazed. Looks like maybe she's kind of grabbing her cheekbone. So probably an unintentional.
She got something to the face.
Something to the face there.
And that is a little, that will throw you off your game in every way possible. So we're going to take a second while Rowdy Bout gets her bearings, as it were. Let's talk some penalties.
We are going to talk penalties. Heading here into the second half for Ventura, we have Renegade in a bit of trouble with 5 penalties, and then also number 74, Antisocial D, sitting on 5 penalties. Fatal Traction sitting on 4 penalties. Now, she's been blocking a lot, but she is also a jammer for the Vendals. For the white team, Sonoma, we've only got one person in penalty trouble. That's number 86, Diamond. With 5 penalties. Everybody else is sitting at 3 or less headed into the second half. So definitely with Renegade Riot, big hitter, big hits in the pack as a blocker, and also Antisocial D, 2 pretty key blockers for the Vendals. Being in penalty trouble is something they will need to keep managed.
And especially as you pointed out that the point differential is because of Channing Hayden's big old power jam. If Sonoma is able to take advantage of the penalty trouble or the penalty potential trouble that Ventura is in, they could get a great power jam for themselves and make up that differential fairly quick.
You know, and that's something actually that I noticed when Ventura was down to 2 blockers in the pack. Not much work by Sonoma to kind of contain them.
Sonoma, what they're comfortable with is being at the front of the pack and trying to contain the jammer from the front of the pack. What Ventura is able to do, they using the just power and footwork to push that defense out of play, and so they're really using. It'll be interesting to see what Sonoma does to adjust for that.
Rowdy Bout on her feet now. She will, of course, sit out for 3 jams minimum. But looks like she's just getting a few more tips from the EMT.
It looks like she, with her putting her finger to her ear, I think either her ear is blocked or her equilibrium might have been knocked a little bit. But she's skating under her own power back to the bench, which is always a beautiful thing to see. I'm glad that she is up.
Score once again, 98-72. Clock frozen at 29:11. Remember, folks, our games are going off the even hours of the day Pacific time, so the next game set to go off at noon Pacific.
And again, the winner of this game will be playing at 2 p.m. against V-Town, they are from Visalia, California.
Yes. We got Foxy Trotter on the line at number 1935 for Sonoma.
And she is out, and lead jammer for Sonoma, Cinderosa, squeaking her way out of the pack. Foxy Trotter coming up against a 2-wall in the back of the pack, having a little bit of trouble getting around them. Cinderosa coming up on the inside line. She's also in the pack.
TK rejoining the pack from the penalty box, and Foxy Trotter.
She draws the track cut on Foxy Trotter. This is now a power jam in favor of Ventura.
And 5 points on the board for Cinderosa. We've got 1:12 remaining in the jam, and Cinderosa picks up another 5 points.
And she did a little, not even an apex jump, more like a little tiny hop, getting her through to get those points. She gets knocked to the infield by number 666, Straight Jacket.
And Straight Jacket will go to the penalty box for a clockwise block, but a little time purchased back on that penalty.
Foxy Trotter standing in the penalty box, ready to get back on the track. Cinderosa through for points for Ventura.
Ventura getting ready for the other team's jammer to re-enter. TK kind of trolling at the back.
Nice wall of black in the back of that pack, holding Foxy Trotter in. The recycling is on point. Holding Foxy Trotter in as much as possible.
Cinderosa finding on the inside, picks up another 4 points. She's at 24 total now for the jam.
Nice partnerships there at the front by Ventura, holding in Foxy Trotter. That's another 4 points for Sonoma on that.
So 14-4 in that last jam. Score now 122-76, 26 minutes left in the half. I noticed something interesting with that brace that TK was setting up at the top of the pack with Fatal, where she would brace, let go to make sure that there wasn't a multiple player block happening, and then back again, and then up, back and up. It's a good cognizant knowledge of when that could maybe become a multiple player block.
Well, it was interesting because I remember seeing a discussion on Facebook actually as to what constitutes a multiplayer block, and sometimes it's these connections, even if they are not connecting with the opposing player that they are blocking, that could be called as a multiplayer block. And so her awareness of that and using it to her advantage is a beautiful thing to see. And we have another power jam in favor of Ventura as number 50, Shira Badass, is on her way to the penalty box for a track cut.
Channing Hayden out there with the star and the lead jammer status for this jam. She was reabsorbed back into the pack, though, after becoming lead jammer. So she is out now and ready to score. Cat Scratch Fever, Sugar Free, and Renegade Riot doing what she does best, breaking up that wall as Channing Hayden comes back in for another 5 points.
Again, really well timed by Ventura, that nice little milady assist as their jammer comes up on the wall.
I think I will call it a milady from here on out. Even when I'm calling men's derby. Channing Hayden through again for another 5 points. And she goes ahead and calls the jam, but Shira Power's already out of the box. 10 points for Channing Hayden gives Ventura 132-76 for Sonoma County. 25 minutes left in the game.
Cinderosa back on the line for Ventura, going up against Spacey Lords for Sonoma. Sonoma taking the back line, letting Spacey Lords through, facing 3 Ventura blockers in the front. She's trying to push her way through. And Cinderosa having her own problems at the back of the pack. Sonoma taking a page from Ventura, setting up that back wall. All of the pushing, all of the falling going on there in turn 2.
Spacey Lawrence makes it past Fatal Traction. Lead jammer belongs to Sonoma County. Sonoma County has actually held lead jammer status 3 of the 4 jams in this second half.
Cinderosa able to get her way through. Spacey Lords on her scoring pass for Sonoma. She has 1 to beat in front. She gets reabsorbed to the back. Cinderosa taking the outside line, makes it through for Ventura.
That's 3 points for Ventura in that pass, 4 for Spacey Lords, 4-3 on the jam, 135-80. I believe I heard someone get called for a multiple player block at the end of that jam. Maybe lots of people. We had 2 blockers, 1 for each team.
Everyone to the penalty box with you. Sonoma County with 80 points, Ventura County 135. 23 minutes, 32 seconds left in this game.
We've got number 17, Malice and Chains, up against number 520, Channing Hayden.
Malice and Chains, she thought she had a clear way through on the inside line, and Ventura defense said, no, you really don't. Oh, her toe cover, her toe guard is coming off of her skate. Malice and Chains adjusting for that, but she's already through. She gets a back block penalty. She goes back to the penalty box. This is now a power jam in favor of Ventura. Channing Hayden weaseling her way through the cracks in the Sonoma wall. They're trying to defend against her. She squeaks through. That is 5 points for Ventura.
We are going to go the remaining minute and 16 seconds of this marathon jam. Ventura once again opening up the dance line, sending Renegade Riot in for a little Milady. It's good because you could pronounce it Malady, too.
You could.
I'm coy.
Hayden through for another 5 points for Ventura. Sonoma coming back to set up that front again. Malice and Chains back on the track. She tries to hop through on the inside, trying to get around Ventura in the back.
Channing Hayden looking for it on the inside now. Held up by number 1729, Lucille Balls. And now with one more to beat at the top of the pack, but this scoring pass is not coming easily for Ms. Hayden.
Or for Malice and Chains. Malice and Chains still caught in the pack as well. Both teams turning up their defense to 11. Oh, Malice and Chains thought she had a clear way through. She goes down on the infield. She gets stopped. Everyone's are hitting the floor. Wow. Channing Hayden gets sent to the infield. Both of them landing almost on top of each other.
So 5 additional points for Ventura, 4 for Sonoma County.
Now, Malice and Chains, she has skated away. I think she's going to do something about her toe guard, I would hope.
I would hope so as well.
She's skating to their skater area.
Probably just take it off real fast and come back in.
Wow. So after all of that, the score, Sonoma 84, Ventura 150.
But once again, Ventura still only ahead because of those massive jams that they've been able to pick up here in this game.
But they are beginning to stretch that score differential wider. Fatal Traction for Ventura County, skating against KWOW for Sonoma, and it is Fatal Traction that is out and lead. KWOW trying to catch up as quickly as possible. Now, Sonoma has not used KWOW a whole lot. She jammed, once or maybe twice in the first half. I am curious to see whether they're going to utilize her because their regular jammer rotation seems to be getting a little bit stymied, I would say.
KWOW did jam only once in the first half of the game, according to my unofficial scribblings. 20 minutes left in the game, 150-84, score unchanged in that scoreless jam.
Cinderosa back on the jammer line for Ventura, going up against Rowdy Bout It for Sonoma. Rowdy Bout It tiptoeing through into the Ventura defense at the front of the pack. Now, it's interesting how Ventura was playing in the back of the pack for the first half of this game. Now they are utilizing the front of the pack and showing that they are pretty good at it, too. Rowdy Bout It makes it out. She does get lead for Sonoma.
Cinderosa around the outside getting cleared to score, but Rowdy Bout It already in the fray for her first scoring pass. Ventura looking to lock it down. TK, though, getting kind of corralled by the Sonoma blockers. Allows her to break free. 4 points, 0 for the Vendals.
88 points for Sonoma County. Ventura 150, 19 minutes, 10 seconds left in the game.
Once again, if you're just tuning in, this is WFTDA.tv's broadcast of our coverage here at Battle for the Coast. Battle for the Coast is an 8-year-long invitational tournament. You must live on the West Coast somehow in order to. So we have invited places like Hawaii and Alaska to come and compete. We have had people from Washington, Canada, Oregon, and California compete here at Battle for the Coast.
Foxy Trotter sitting in the penalty box. This is now a power jam in favor of Ventura. Fatal weaseling her way around the Sonoma defense. She gets out, she gets lead.
Remember, of course, folks, that Fatal Attraction was sitting on 5 penalties at the beginning of the second half. So Fatal having to skate clean. She takes a big hit from Spacey Lords, and now the pack stretching out, and there's going to be a failure to bridge here in just a moment, I'm sure.
Really nice work by KWOW holding back Fatal Traction. Finally forced to let her go. She gets to the 20-foot blocking zone.
Foxy Trotter in from the penalty box. She is ready to score points. Fatal Traction still in the midst of her second scoring pass, which she goes ahead and completes.
I am so KWOW. She's fun to watch. She set herself up on that inside line right at the end there to give a big ol' hit on Fatal Traction. Fatal goes boop, just moves to the side, just a quick little move, and then calls it off as KWOW takes herself off the track. I love seeing stuff like that. Sonoma at 88 points, Ventura County 159. 17 minutes, 20 seconds left in this game.
Shira Powers on the line up against Channing Hayden for the Vendals. And Shira Powers finds it fast and dirty on the inside, a lead jammer for Sonoma County.
Channing Hayden getting caught up behind a 2-all Sonoma. She takes the outside, coming up against the remaining 2 defenders. She makes it out of the pack as Shira is in on her scoring pass.
Shira goes ahead and completes her scoring pass, calls off the jam. 4 points for Sonoma County. 59-92. We maybe could nickel and dime it.
It's getting, the clock is beginning to work against Sonoma in this case. What they need are a couple of really solid power jams, but as we have seen, even when they do get power jams in their favor, they're not able to utilize them to the degree that Ventura is utilizing theirs.
That's correct. So team timeout being called for Sonoma County Roller Derby.
Wise move.
Definitely.
It's a wise move. It's like when you're behind and there's only 16 minutes, 36 seconds left in the game, you might want to think about some stuff. I see you thinking, Ms. Com.
Yes,
Talk
well,
to us.
I'm thinking about how I have failed to put the WFTDA ranking for Sonoma County on our rosters. Who put these source books together?
Who was this person? Someone's slipping. What?
Oh, Ventura County is 146 thanks to the newest rankings. But this last month's rankings do include gameplay from March. Now, what's interesting to note is that in March, all of these teams were at the Dust Bowl Invitational in Bakersfield.
That's right.
Hosted by the Derby Revolution of Bakersfield. Now, not all of them played each other because of how they were placed on the tournament schedule, but so, again, we just had a basic timeout, pretty standard really.
As Craig's Fizz put it, standard timeout, no complaints.
There are never any complaints when Craig's Fist is in charge.
Yeah, who's going to argue with that guy? His beard will come out and bite you if you try and argue with him.
You do have to watch out for the beard. Cinderosa on the line against Rowdy Bout it.
Cinderosa had one to beat. She got promptly shoved to the infield. Rowdy Bout it, tiny little apex jump, gets her the lead for Sonoma. Pardon me. Again, Sonoma in white, Ventura in black and green.
The Vendals losing at number 103, Cat Scratch Fever, to the penalty box as a blocker.
Cinderosa making it through. Rowdy Bout it on her scoring pass. Gets pushed to the outside behind Antisocial D. She gets pushed to the way back, resets. Taking a chance at Cinderosa coming up on the pack. She calls it up.
Net payoff there, 2 points for Rowdy. Calling it off before Cinderosa has a chance to score. 163-95 with 15 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in. You know, we actually talked in the first game about how right now Derby is in a phase of blockers blocking, like paying attention to the other team's jammer, and jammers kind of being expected to do their own blocking and break through the pack, some more so than a few years ago when there were a lot more assists. I think in that jam in particular, Rowdy could have benefited with a little bit more assistance from her teammates rather than them focusing on Cinderosa so heavily. Channing Hayden with lead jammer status.
Foxy Trotter also out of the pack for Sonoma. However, it is Channing Hayden coming up on her scoring pass. She gets pushed to the outside. She calls it off just. Wow, very enthusiastic there for Channing Hayden. But she has been one of the star jammers for Ventura in this game. Not surprising considering the way that we've seen her skate, just very in control.
It's interesting when Channing joined Derby, she was like, I can roller skate. And then she showed up at newbie practice and she was like, I can derby. It was literally that fast that it picked up. She was on the A team within her first year as a rookie with the Vendals.
Not a surprise. Cinderosa back jamming for Ventura, going up against Spacey Lords for Sonoma. Spacey Lords almost trying to claw her way through the Ventura defense. She pushes them out of play. She does get lead for Sonoma.
Sonoma and Ventura trading lead jammer status back and forth here in this second half. No real domination from either team on that front.
Lords is in on her scoring pass, having to push her own teammates out of the way. She squeaks through on the inside line, gets around Lispy business for Ventura there to pick up 3 points. Oh, excuse me. Looking at the wrong ref. She does pick up her points for Sonoma, calls it off. They're at 99 points to Ventura's 169.
Net gain on that, 1 point for Sonoma, 4-3. 3 points for Cinderosa, putting on the speed at the end there. Just a little bit of Spacey Lord's part, calling off the jam.
And sometimes it's those little things that could make a difference. And that's the thing. I don't see anything hugely glaring that Sonoma is doing that is accounting for this deficit, but there are little things that are adding up.
We've got Channing Hayden, lead jammer for the Vendals. Malice and Chains, the other jammer out there in white. Fatal track. The last line of defense at the top of the pack, and Malice heads to the penalty box for a high block on Fatal Traction.
Another power jam in favor of Channing Hayden and Ventura. Ventura's going to back that pack up, making it as easy as possible for Channing to start scoring. She gets past Diamond. Diamond pushes her out, forcing Hayden to reset behind the Sonoma defense.
Diamond coming back in from the penalty box. If my scribblings are true, that was her serving her 6th penalty. She had 5 headed into the second half.
Zoinks!
Malice kind of lollygagging back in from the penalty box. Channing Hayden still in the fray.
Hayden, now finally Sonoma is really turning up the defense on Ventura. Hayden's still able to get through. She picks up her 5 points for Ventura. Malice and Chains back on the track, having her own battle at the front of the pack. She gets forced down, getting forced to the way back.
And Malice picks up a track cut. She had a math problem. One of the there were 2 skaters that were blocking her. It was not the one who hit her out that fell down and went out of play. She thought that was the person who hit her out. The other person was further back, and that's a track cut.
And again, these little mistakes is what is costing Sonoma this game so far. The clock is stopped at 11 minutes, 15 seconds for an official review. Sonoma at 99 points, Ventura 181. They have really opened up that lead in this half.
Coach Izzy Sirius out in the center. We've got an official review being called, and I have a feeling that he is going to ask for a track cut on Channing Hayden that he believes happened right in front of his bench, because I saw him get very agitated.
That happens, like when, and sometimes it's frustrating when you see something that you think is happening and the refs don't, and the losing of patience sometimes follows, but we'll see what happens at the end of this official review if what he sees and what the ref sees were indeed the same thing.
You know, I should really keep track of this. I wonder if there is someone keeping track of official review successes and what they are asking for. We had 2 official reviews in the last game where the coach was the captain was asking for a penalty to be assessed. They weren't granted.
It helps when someone on the bench crew is either reffing or has reffed in the past, because the most successful ref reviews that I was noticing last year came from Angel City's Conan the Vegetarian, because, lo and behold, he used to be a ref, and that knowledge really does pay off in these official reviews sometimes.
Perhaps because he knows where to look? Yeah.
He knows things.
So the officials, of course, will take this review. Again, for those of you that are maybe newer to Derby, each team is granted 1 official review a half. If the official review is granted, they get to keep the official review. Otherwise, they lose it. So
we know.
So we know.
The more you know, Star Swoosh.
See, I didn't actually sing the song, so we can't get sued.
Like, people are going to sue us, but okay, come at us, NBC.
Yeah. You've been doing this for 25 years, but I've been doing it for 37.
Craig's Fist making his way over. We're going to find out what's going on in just a sec. Oh, okay. You called the reason for the official review, Ms.
Craigslist basically came over and said miscommunication is right. They were asking for a call on a no-call situation on a perceived track cut on Channing Hatem.
The no call stands, however.
And I do a dance of celebration.
Look at this. We see TK not on the jammer line. She is 10 feet back from the jammer line for Ventura. Ventura opening it up for her. Oh, another timeout.
We've got an official timeout.
Oh, doing a little track maintenance here.
Yes.
Thank you, Craig's Fist. Pointing to Quadfather, who is laying down some tape, saying, that's what's happening. Thank you.
That's what's happening right now, folks. Of course, Malice in Chains caged in the penalty box for that track cut. A tragic 2 penalty in 1 jam for Sonoma County.
TK attacking that wall with a vengeance. She makes her way through. Even before turn 1, she gets lead for Ventura.
TK doing a little bit of conducting of the pack as she re-engages, and she's out. 5 points for the Vendals.
I noticed that Straight Jacket did a round around the track to sit in the penalty box. I wonder what her penalty count is at around now, because she seemed to be going there quite a bit. That's another 5 points for TK and Ventura. Fatal Traction on her way to the penalty box, and she's won. Now, at least she wasn't getting penalties as a jammer, but she is in the box as a blocker, and she was on the edge of
Fatal was on 5 at the beginning. Because I'm not seeing her being dismissed, this means that this is her 6th penalty that she's sitting on.
Ten minutes left in this game. Sonoma at 99 points. Ventura 195.
So number 187, you brought her up. For some reason, the name, Fundamental Jackie, actually only had 1 penalty heading into the second half. So she's got a few to play with.
Okay. Cinderosa going up against Rowdy Bout. Rowdy Bout out and lead jammer for Sonoma. Cinderosa on her way to the penalty box for a track cut. This is now a power jam in favor of Sonoma. Nice moves by Rowdy Bout, picking up 5 points. Sonoma keeping that pack nice and slow, giving Rowdy Bout the most opportunity to score some points. She tiptoes her way on the inside, zips to the out. That's another 5 points for Sonoma. This is exactly the type of power jam that they need to stay in this game. We'll see if it's little too late, who knows, but they are trying their darndest, which is the most beautiful thing in the world.
No pack situation. Rowdy goes ahead and calls off the jam just as Cinderosa gets to her feet in the box. This just in, thank you, Blushy Lushy of Sacramento from Sacred City. She did go ahead and bleep into us. They do track the reviews and whether or not they are successful in the stats. I think the WFTDA made a diagram about it.
Interesting. I would love to see that.
That's a very interesting thing to me. I always think about interesting stats to track, but never have the time to track them.
Foxy Trotter jamming for Sonoma, hitting that wall with a vengeance. Cinderosa now sprung out of the penalty box as well and back on the track. Sonoma building a wall in the Ventura in the front. Foxy Trotter is out and lead for Sonoma.
Cinderosa still fighting against Sonoma County. Sonoma County having several minutes of very good, intricate pack work in this game here this morning. Cinderosa out, ready to score, and Foxy, though, completing her first scoring pass.
Izzy Sirius just screaming at Foxy to call that jam there at the end.
Spacey Lords sent to the penalty box for legal engagement after the whistle. She knew exactly what she did, though, when she fell. She was like, sorry.
Unfortunately, that is not enough to keep her out of the penalty box. We have another timeout. Sonoma 116, Ventura 198, 7 minutes, 25 seconds on the clock.
It looks like that timeout being called. Antisocial D, number 74 from the Vendals, into the penalty box for her 7th penalty. She will be dismissed from the track.
That's what you get for being an overachiever in the wrong way.
I want a T-shirt that says that.
Got the confirmation from Craig's Fist a second ago.
Channing Hayden on the line against Shira Badass for Sonoma. And
both jammers out at the same time, but it's Shira that is lead jammer. Sorry to interrupt, but that was important.
And Channing Hayden with a come at me bro kind of look on her face. And Shira Powers picks up all 4 points before Channing Hayden has a chance.
That was a really remarkable jam to watch. I like that. Do it again, you guys. Do it again.
Again.
6 minutes, 46 seconds left on the game clock. Sonoma 120, 198 for Ventura.
Once again, these teams battling to determine who will play V-Town at 2 p.m. Pacific. Cinderosa on the line against Rowdy Bout.
Cinderosa taking the outside line. Maine keeps her footing. She gets lead for Ventura. Rowdy Bout getting knocked around to the front of the pack. She puts on the afterburners and gets out as Cinderosa is coming up on the back of the pack. Ventura slowing it down in the back. She comes up on the 4 wall in the front, is forced to call it off as Rowdy Bout hits the back of the Ventura wall.
1 point for Cinderosa, puts the score now 199 to 120 with 6 minutes left in the game. We still have plenty more Battle for the Coast here on WFTDA.tv for you. Basically, all of the games go off at even hours, 8, 10, 12, 2, 4, 6 today, and then 2, 4 tomorrow. So real easy for you to remember so you know when to tune in for the beginning of the game.
And speaking of the next game that'll be coming up, noon local time, it'll be SFV against Derby Revolution of Berkeley. Bakersfield. I wish it was Berkeley, but I just miss going to Berkeley, apparently. Channing Tatum out and lead for Ventura. She's up against Foxy Trotter, who's still trying to get around. She's trying to get around TK there. She takes advantage of the open line and gets out. Tatum coming in on her scoring pass for Ventura.
Hayden at the top of the pack decides to call off the jam kind of early. 3 points for Hayden in that last jam.
Ventura breaking the century mark for the second time. They have 202 points to Sonoma's 120.
Also, Ventura still has 2 team timeouts remaining and 1 team timeout remaining for Sonoma County. Sonoma County also using their official review earlier. Ventura still holding on to theirs.
Spacey Lords jamming for Sonoma, going up against Cinderosa for Ventura. Cinderosa has 1 to beat. She gets lead for Ventura at the apex between turns 1 and 2.
Spacey Lords out and ready to score. Sonoma County kind of spread out in the pack, trying to build their wall again at the top.
Cinderosa facing that front wall. She's like, meh, whatever. I'm just going to call it off. However, Spacey Lords got 2 points on that jam. Oh, did I get it backwards again? I hate it when I do
Black.
that.
2 points
2
for
points
Ventura.
For Ventura. I did.
It's okay. Maybe it's backwards day. Remember that in elementary school?
Apparently it is in my world.
Well, you know. Oh, I know what it is. It's the R in your first name and your last
Yes,
name.
that's what it is.
That's what it is. It's not Russian way. It's backwards way.
Dang it. We have ourselves another timeout.
Official timeout being called. Normally, when these are official timeouts are called towards the end of the game, it's a penalty management operation. But
Craig's Fist is on his way over here. We'll find out in a hot second what's going on. Okay, so Ventura just wanted to do a little housekeeping, saying that they assigned a new captain since Fatal Traction had fouled out of
so
this
Fatal
game.
Traction and Antisocial Dean now fouled out of the game.
However, Ventura is still in the lead. Rowdy Bout jamming for Sonoma. She is a lead jammer. She goes down on her scoring pass there. 3 points for Sonoma on that round. 123 for Sonoma. Ventura 204. 3 minutes, 10 seconds left in this game.
Cinderosa on the line for Ventura.
She's going up against KWOW. KWOW did a momentary moment of defense, then decides to attack the wall. We have TK somersaulting there. And she's on her way to the penalty box, I bet, for a low block. KWOW is out and lead jammer for Sonoma.
Renegade Riot headed to the penalty box. I do not remember if I saw her go another time, but this may be 7 for her.
Cinderosa trying to get through the Sonoma phalanx there that is building up in the middle.
5 points for KWOW. We've got 2:17 on the period clock, 1:15 on the jam clock as Cinderosa breaks free.
KWOW facing a 2-wall in the front, getting an assist by one of her blockers.
So 0-0. We've got a forearms being called on Sugar Free. Sugar Free, a recent transfer to the Vendals from the West Coast Derby Knockouts.
Ah. Penalty box looks a little full on the Ventura side right now.
It is, and I have a feeling that here in a few seconds. Oh, maybe not. So Renegade Riot sitting on her 6th penalty then. She is on her feet. She'll be back in here shortly. Channing Hayden with the star for the ladies in black and green. Foxy Trotter with lead jammer status.
Foxy Trotter making quick work of the track. She's coming up on her scoring pass. Hayden still back on her initial pass. Nice little apex jump by Foxy Trotter. That's 5 points for Sonoma.
Channing Hayden out and ready to score.
Foxy Trotter coming up against Ventura defense, calling it off, not even looking around. She knows Hayden is coming up. She's not going to let her score any of the points. She picks up 3 on that round. We have a timeout being called by Sonoma.
That's right.
They want that last jam.
Yep. 51 didn't want to chance it on the 30-second break and the 20 seconds. So timeout for them, creating a last jam in the second game of the first day of Battle for the Coast.
See, you're good at keeping tracks, like last jam, second game, first day of the 8th annual Battle for the Coast.
Ooh, you just one-up me. Man, Tara Armoff always going to be one-upping me.
That's because I'm a jerk.
So our next game, we are going to see number 1 ranked San Fernando Valley take on the Derby Revolution of Bakersfield. DRB, of course, playing a game earlier today against West Coast. 214-173 was that score. Pretty tough game for Bakersfield. I'm sure they are working super hard to prep themselves mentally to come back in and do a second game of the day.
Well, and it could be to their advantage because sometimes when you have that first game under your belt and you prep during your downtime of the second game and then come in for the third, it's like, all right, you're warmed up, you know what you need to do, you know what the floor is like, you know how everything is operating, and sometimes that gives you an advantage.
Just a regular team timeout there. Thanks again to tournament head ref Craig's Fist for kicking Tookus at his first time in this job.
Rowdy Bout it out on lead jammer for Sonoma County. Cinderosa caught up in the pack, being forced to the very back. She gets forced out again on the apex, having to reset behind. Rowdy Bout it through. That's 5 points for Sonoma. Cinderosa finally making it out of the pack on her initial pass. Ventura setting up their wall in the front of the pack. Rowdy Bout it, wiggling her way through. She calls it off. There's 13. There is time left on the period clock. She gets 1 point on that last pass.
Ventura County, though, the only one who can create another jam. It looks like they're just going to sit on timeouts.
Like Potsy, they're going to sit on it. Don't you remember that from the 70s? Happy Days, am I the only one?
Yes. Well, I don't remember it from the 70s, but I remember it from reruns in the 80s. So Ventura advances to play V-Town at 4 o'clock local time here today. Sonoma also going to play a second game today against the loser of the next game. That is Game 5 today. They are going to be playing at 4 p.m. We want to remind you again, this is a double elimination tournament. The folks who fall into the consolation bracket do fight their way back into the championship game.
It ain't over till it's over, as they say.
Very much
just
so.
because they lose this first game, none of the teams have to give up hopes of getting that awesome ore.
So high-scoring jams in that last game, or in that last half of the game. We had Cinderosa come out in the second jam and have 24 big points on the board for Ventura. And then Foxy Trotter with 8 points, the high scorer in this second half. 204-142, Ventura advances on. Sonoma County goes into the consolation bracket, and perhaps they will play up to the championship game tomorrow. You'll have to tune in to WFTDA.tv to find out. Once again, I'm Ms. Communication.
I'm Tara Armoff.
And thanks for tuning in.
Dude, I do a lot of shit around this house. You can pick up a little slack once in a while. All day long I cook and clean. Pick up kids, it's quite a scene. Dinner ready for the man. He gets home, he sits on his can. All I need is a little break. Why won't he just clean his plate? He gets home, he sits on the couch. I look at him and I start to shout. Why won't he just do the dishes? Why won't he just do the dishes? Why won't he just do the dishes, man?
Up at 6 in the shop, gotta beat it. Everybody else on my back, feels like everyone's on crack. All I need is a little break. Get in, only I get home late. I get home, the house is wreck. Kids off to the west wreck. I don't wanna do the dishes. I don't wanna do the dishes. I don't wanna do the dishes, man.
Oh man, you shit around, you don't clean up anything. You talk, snack all the time.
Talking about yourself?
I'm talking about myself, not at all. I'm talking about you.
I don't wanna do the dishes. I don't wanna do the dishes. I don't wanna do the dishes, man.
Dude, I do a lot of shit around this house. You can pick up a little slack once in a while. All day long I cook and clean. Pick up kids, it's quite a scene. Dinner ready for the man. He gets home, he sits on. All I need is a little break. Why won't he just clean his plate? He gets home, he sits on the couch. I look at him and I start to shout. Why won't he just do the dishes? Why won't he just do the dishes? Why won't he just do the dishes, man?
Up at 6 in the shop, gotta beat it in and out. Everybody else on my back, feels like everyone's on crack. All I need is a little break. Get in, only I get home late. I get home, the house is wreck. Kids off to the west wreck. I don't wanna do the dishes. I don't wanna do the dishes. I don't wanna do the dishes, man.
Oh man, you shit around, you don't clean up anything. You talk, snack all the time.
Talking about yourself?
I'm talking about myself, not at all. I'm talking about you.
I don't wanna do the dishes. I don't wanna do the dishes. I don't wanna do the dishes, man.
Dude, I do a lot of shit around this house. You can pick up a little slack once in a while. Long I cook and clean. Pick up kids, it's quite a scene. Dinner ready for the man. He gets home, he sits on his can. All I need is a little. Why won't he just clean his plate? He gets home, he sits on the couch. I look at him and I start to shout. Why won't he just do the dishes? Why won't he just do the dishes? Why won't he just do the dishes, man?
not at all. I'm talking about you.
I don't wanna do the dishes. I don't wanna do the dishes. I don't wanna do the dishes, man.
Dude, I do a lot of shit around this house. You can pick up a little slack once in a while. All day long I cook and clean. Pick up kids, it's quite a scene. Dinner ready for the man. He gets home, he sits on his can. All I need is a little break. Why won't he just clean his plate? He gets home, he sits on the couch. I look at him and I start to shout. Why won't he just do the Why won't he just do the dishes? Why won't he just do the dishes, man?
Up at 6 in the shop. Gotta beat it in and out. Everybody's on my back. Feels like everyone's on crack. All I need is a little break. Get in early, I get home late. I get home, the house a wreck. Kids are screaming, the wife's a wreck. I wanna do the dishes. I don't wanna do the dishes. I don't wanna do the dishes, man.
Oh man, you leave shit around. You don't clean up anything. You're a hawk. You snack all the time.
Talking about yourself?
I'm talking about myself, not at all. I'm talking about you.
I don't wanna do the dishes. I don't wanna do the dishes. I don't wanna do the dishes, man.
Dude, I do a lot of shit around this house. You can pick up a little slack once in a while.